I want to start today by looking at the 1 minute chart for about 5 days since the gap down. When the price did come crashing down on this day, I believe it was a Friday, maybe it was a Monday, I can't remember. But there was this gap down, and I said, okay, this is a big signal. And so I basically just took the height of that gap and then drew a trend line down. And I found that these peaks line up pretty well. And then I discovered this downward channel. And given today's price action, which forms kind of this doji-like candle, it's got longer wick and tail than body. I'm thinking that's pretty good reversal candle. That could potentially show the indecision in the market to continue downward and show that bullish reversal. So I charted this downward channel and then applied Fibonacci retracement levels to it as if the downward channel were complete, that this downward motion is done. So the bottom of the channel would be 100% to show the full move, and 0 would be at the top to show the beginning of that move, all right? And all along the way, I found that the distinct peaks and valleys fell along those supports, with the exception of one, which is fine. Now I'm going to select that Fibonacci retracement so you can see it. Now when I click away, it appears as a black line through these circles. So you can see how the Fibonacci retracement and the boundaries of this channel are related. And they're related on the assumption that the channel is complete. All right? So obviously there's no way to know which way the price is going to go tomorrow. But this analysis would suggest that the downward move is done. Now switching to the 15-minute chart, this is where I keep the majority of my notes. You'll see that today's price action saw a jump in the early AM and then this rounding motion. And this almost looks like, and I'll highlight it for you, a double bottom. All right, this first portion would be an Adam and the second would be an Eve. And it's ugly because one valley is lower than the other valley. All right? So that would make a wonderful complex head in an inverted head and shoulders pattern, like I was saying the other day. All right, and I'm just going to highlight them again. All right, in the complex head and shoulders, we have two shoulders here. All right, and we're not really looking for two heads. It's pretty rare you have two shoulders and two heads. So maybe we just say, hey, this is the shoulder, and this is a double head, and I'm going to be looking for another shoulder in a similar distance from the head. So 1, 2, 3 days, right? So 1, 2, 3. So somewhere over here would be the second shoulder, and the breakout would be over here. And I'm going to leave this circle here for future reference. And that's what I see in the 15-minute charts. I want to go into this a little more actually, because what's super interesting is this rectangle bottom that I have right here. I'll hold up into this pinkish red. This level acted as resistance in today's run. And that was very interesting because if this is going to be a double bottom, this peak would be the confirmation line to pass, signaling the move upward. And that move upward would be above what I have here labeled as the rectangle top. And that would be a very consistent analysis, very congruent with everything I've seen so far. So zooming out to the 1-day chart, the daily chart, you'll see our symmetrical triangle, and that the price has been outside this triangle for 2 days now, and I'm okay with that. This isn't significant yet. If you zoom in on this candle, you can see it's kind of indecisive. It's not quite a doji because it has a body, but also it's not going either direction. It's not necessarily going to be a bullish move up, but in the past, these kinds of inside trading days have proved to be bullish. Now, this is the weekly chart, and it's important to look at this late in the week because Friday will determine what kind of candle we have. Currently, it's looking quite bearish. Now, if we do see a run tomorrow, which I actually anticipate, this candle would become, well, it could become kind of a doji. Hopefully a doji. But if not a doji, that's okay. As long as the price ends above where it's currently at around $35, into the 36 range would be great, then this weekly candle would look like it's going to reverse the downward price direction that we've seen of late. Now, really quickly, returning to the daily chart, I want to visit indicators. Volume is decreasing, and for how much longer can it decrease? I don't know, because you look at average volume or just take a, an eyeball look at it. Volume has been very low. It's very, very low, very low. So the end of this trend should be approaching rather shortly, and I'm maintaining that I anticipate a breakout, whether it's up or down, at first, second week of November. Looking at the RSI on the daily chart shows something of an uptick right here. Today gave us a little uptick. I have this 35 level here selected, and you know what? Let me just make this bigger and colorful, really quicksies. Okay, there you can see it. And you can see that around this level, this is typically where the price tends to turn around. All right? You can see a turnaround in price there, here. It's just a great level. AMC does not necessarily always need to hit that 30 mark before the magic begins, especially back here. So, seeing the RSI at this level, it does make me optimistic. I'm optimistic for that. Moving on, let's look at the MACD. What does the MACD tell us? Okay, it tells us we're in a red wave, and this does not look to be closing up yet. The blue line is still moving further away from the yellow line, but you never know. The MACD is not super forward-looking. It's just a momentum indicator, right? And right now, this wave, this downward wave, does not look very strong. So I think the fireworks are going to start sooner rather than later. But as always, don't hold your breath and be ready for the downside action, which could happen if we don't see the breakout. Again, the downward target for the symmetrical triangle is in the $29 region. But tomorrow is a big day. Again, we need to see this bullish reversal confirmed by a close above, let's see here, that would be Wednesday, yesterday's close, or even their open. What I want to see is a candle reaching back into that triangle. That's what I want to see right there. And I'll put an arrow on this, and we'll leave it. This is what I want to see. It's what I anticipate to see as well. But as always, it's up in the air.